Grace and peace, friends. This rarely happens, but in the middle of the night, I woke up thinking about the story of Noah, and in particular, thinking about its significance for those of us in ministry. And I was just thinking about Noah taking all those years. I mean, decades upon decades upon decades, building the ark, really with just him and his family. And I thought that's what ministry's like. Sometimes in ministry, you go it completely and entirely alone. And of course, sometimes your family's not always there with you. Sometimes they're not always helping the way that you should. So ministry can be lonely. No matter how meaningful we think it is, no matter how important we think it is, no matter how many lives are saved or changed, sometimes it's just really lonely, and you end up doing a lot of the work by yourself in isolation. And I think the reason for that is because so many people just don't understand why what we do matters, or at least why it matters as much as it does. When you think about the story of Noah, he's building this big boat. There's no record of anybody else showing up to help him. There's no record of anybody else getting all excited or catching his vision. I don't know if he was the world's worst vision caster. I don't know if he had a terrible, marketing team or whatever. But nobody understood why they needed a big boat for salvation and for their families. And I think that's a lot of the time what happens in ministry, particularly in creative and innovative ministry, is people go, why are you doing this? We don't need this. I don't see the value in it. And that's, again, that's why we end up alone. And that's why people sometimes scratch their heads, or sometimes they even mock us. Sometimes they even oppose us. And so you got isolation and loneliness. And then you've got misunderstanding and confusion. And then the last thing I really pick up from the story of Noah is then all of a sudden the lights come on for everybody, and they see what you've made, they see what you've done, and all of a sudden they go, yes, yes, okay, you were right, you are smart, thank you. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it's unavailable to them. Maybe because they're too old, maybe because they've moved away, maybe because it's past their prime. I mean, if you've been in ministry long enough, you know what happens. The people that come to your church, they think you're okay, but if they move to another state, all of a sudden you're the greatest pastor they've ever even heard of. They're like, man, I sure miss what I used to have when I was at your church. You were such a great Bible teacher. You were such a great leader, a visionary, or whatever. And now I can't come anymore, and I wish I could. Or conversely, maybe you transition on to another ministry, and somebody you didn't even know liked you all of a sudden starts sending you, love letters and saying, wow, Pastor, you're so amazing. Well, that's what, like the story of Noah. I mean, he gets in the boat, he sails away. Everybody else is caught without a boat and is in all kinds of trouble. And now they get it, but they don't get access to it. I mean, they get it, but they literally don't get it. And that's one of the great tragedies of ministry, is that sometimes all our hard work finally pays off. We're proven not to be crazy, not to be foolish, not to be poor stewards of imagination or resources or creativity or leadership or whatever. Now it's working. I mean, the thing that we wanted to happen happens, and all of a sudden there's a tremendous amount of grief and sadness from all those who missed out. And I think when you get to the end of the road and finally you're proven right, you're vindicated, there's a couple of errors that we have to watch out for. Of course, there's the error of self-righteous congratulation, where we go, aha, you suckers can drown because you didn't help me with the boat. Clearly, that's not anything we want. But more than anything, I think the thing we have to watch out for is depression. You know that in the story of Noah, I mean, he makes ground, and what's he do? He has all kinds of weird adventures, and then goes off and gets drunk. And I think that's what happens to us sometimes, is that we do all the things, we expend massive amounts of energy and effort, and then people tell us, yeah, that was great and that was amazing, but we're sad. We're sad that it worked, but it didn't do enough. We couldn't save everybody. We couldn't give life to everybody. We couldn't be meaningful to everybody. And so we're left with, well, once again, the people closest to us, family, friends, and very few others. And now we're often in a new landscape that we don't totally recognize, and it doesn't totally feel like home. Well, friends, I just want you to know, if you're going through all of that, I get it. I understand. And you're not alone. If I can do anything to help you or the people God has entrusted to your care, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm Dave McDonald. I'm the founder and the steward of the Thesaurus Chapter House, where we bring life back to pastors. Cheers.